the betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
Race number 2 is the start of the place accumulator, and if you're an exotic player and you want to get involved in that bet, you need to have your bets on bar 13.15. But before we get to our field for the second race, we got a replay of the Mike de Kock runner Winter Pearl coming off a break last time out, and then interviews with Craig Udy and Michael Roberts.
Claim at the rail. On the outside of that is Winter Pearl and then Vion's Grey. Coming down to the 200-metre marker now, Global Path, Stanley Park's a runner, Don Kirari's running a big race but is green, in darkers on the inside, Don Kirari and Stanley Park, nothing between the two but Don Kirari won it. Stanley Park in dark and maybe Winter Pearl.
Strawberry Bear, he's a very, very nice horse. He was very unlucky, got run into from behind and then still came back to run fourth. Unless there's a really, really good horse in the race, he's going to be hard to beat. I do think he's going to be better once he goes 14, 16. But if there's nothing really, really good, he's going to be very hard to beat.
Also, nice big horse, nearly 17 hands. He shows quite a bit of toe. Virtually the same applies to him. I think, he'll probably finish in the first half of the race.
Yeah, we mentioned this is the start of the place accumulator. Get your bets on by 13.15. Well, we watched that rerun from Winter Pearl, and you could say starting to catch the eye over the final 100 meters or so when the race was over. But some fighting talk there, Graham, from the assistant trainer to Mike Miller. That's Craig Udy, number 7, Strawberry Bear. Craig's always a contributor on any social platform, and we thank him for his input on Gold Circle TV. He's always there to help, but he was very confident. I mean, you can't get more confident than that.
Very confident, and of course, as we mentioned earlier, how Ketchikel runs in the first race is going to be a clear indication as to what we can expect from Strawberry Bear. I get the feel that this is perhaps a slightly weaker maiden plate over 1,200 meters. Let's go back to that rerun of Winter Pearl. He made his debut on the 22nd of May last year. He's only had 3 starts in more than a year. And certainly that debut run was brilliant, second to the very talented Bard of Avon. And then he only reappeared on the 30th of October and ran 3rd behind Angel of War. After that, he was gelded and reappeared on the 10th of July. When a young horse is that sparingly raced, there are clear issues. But maybe he's over those. He would have needed that last run. He'll come on in leaps and bounds. But I know that you're in the camp of Winter Pearl as far as the place accumulator is concerned. But I don't trust this race because I'm not totally trusting of the Captain Casey form line as we go into the obviously Kitchekel can change all that in the first race, but by then it's too late for the bipod. Not too late for the place accumulator though. So if Kitchekel runs really well in the first, then based on what Craig has just said and that form line, then Strawberry Bear must be a massive runner.
The one thing I will tell you about Winter Pearl, and I briefly spoke to you off air about this, the last time the horse ran, and it was coming off a 7.5-month break, and rightfully I went over to Trevor Brown, the assistant trainer to Mike, and asked him about the horse's well-being and what he was expecting over the 1,000 meters, and he was clear, which I passed on to the guys, that whilst the horse has done enough back home, he was of the opinion that he'll need it, and 1,000 meters is on the sharp side for him. So he wasn't expecting the horse. Let's just put it this way: he wasn't confident that the horse could win, and his price didn't dictate. The market didn't dictate what the stable were expecting. So I think they would have been really pleased with that run. It wasn't the strongest of fields, but that run would have brought him on a ton. And the fact that he's now going 1,200 meters, and if you watch that replay, you could see the 1,100 meters. He was just building and building and building, and I think the 1,200 is going to suit him nicely. So after listening to the comments from Craig Udy, I now, will make this horse the danger to Strawberry Bear rather than the other way about prior to coming on air. I thought that Strawberry Bear...
It does look as if they stand out. Strawberry Bear and Winter Pearl do look the leading protagonists. You've got to give a mention to Seattle Greenlight. He's been priced up fairly short at 4-1. Warren Kennedy for Gavin Finsale. He's only had the 2 starts coming along the right way. 2-year-old son to give me the green light. So he's got the pedigree, he's got the form. So he's a big runner. He's number 5, Seattle Greenlight. Lazy Guy is well tried, but he's at 6 seconds from 18 starts, so you can't deny that he hasn't got some credentials, and he ran second last time, but I fear that the others might be too strong for him. One horse I do want to mention before you can close out the race, one of my horses to watch out for is number 2, Smith & Wesson. He's been gelded. He has his first run as a gelding. I know he's changed stables. He was probably bought on one of those online sales, and we've seen those online sales produce some marvelous results. Makes his debut for the Lorenzo Karim stable. I think on his past form, you certainly got to throw Smith & Wesson into the trifecta and quartet calculations.
That's a nice roughie that Graham's picked out, and if you're looking for one from me, then I think Buster Keaton, Andre Nell's runner, who's been off for, 9 months, we'll call it, and he wasn't fancied or anything in the betting when he debuted as a 2-year-old, and then if you pull out that form line, well, it's just riddled with winners, and then he was rested, he was brought back. He didn't show much over 1,400 meters. The form lines are really good, and all depends on how well they have him. Yeah, if they got problems with horses, they're not shy to rest him. The Nell-Platinum combination, I think they've given this horse enough time now just to find himself, get over his issues, and hopefully he can come out and run a forward race. So the roughie for Graham, number 2, Smith & Wesson. I'll be with number 8, Buster Keaton. But we both agree, after those comments from Craig Udy, Strawberry Bear will have a lot of followers, but keep an eye for a big effort from the De Kock runner, Winter Pearl.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.